everybody. This is the Hallmarkies podcast. I'm Rachel, and we are here for a special bonus interview, and Amber's here.
Hi, everybody.
We are really excited. We are here to talk to an actress named Hannah Pederson, and she was so nice to reach out to us. And Hannah, thanks for coming on our little podcast.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm excited to be here.
Yeah, thanks. So, Hannah, we like to ask our guests, introduce yourself a little bit, and what inspired you to become an actress?
Perfect. Well, I am, like you said, Hannah Pederson. I'm from Canada, and I was born and raised in a small town, and I kind of, similar to a lot of, I know, Hallmark actors you've interviewed previously, we all kind of always knew that we were going to be an actor in some way or another. I'm the youngest of three girls, and I've just been a bit of a maybe obnoxious performer as a child, like always forcing my siblings to like put on shows with me. And my one sister's super shy, and I would be like, no, we need to perform. Like the show always must go on in my family by me. So yeah, just since a little girl, like I've loved to perform, to make people laugh, to entertain. And yeah, so it's kind of always been something I've wanted to do, or maybe something instinctively in me. But I pursued a bit of a soccer career for a while. And then I had a very serious injury, and what seemed like the worst possible thing that could happen to me was actually, in my opinion, I think it was a godsend and a miracle, because I like cold turkey gave up soccer and the career I was hoping with that. And I completely shifted, and my poor parents like invested so much into soccer, and was planning to become a lawyer. And then last minute, I just, like I said, quit. My doctor said I would have a short but good career in soccer. And so we just gave it up, and I last minute signed up for a theater school, which I think was just meant to happen. And then, yeah, I've kind of been working pretty full time since I've started. So yeah, kind of meant to be, right? Like what's meant to be will happen. I really believe that.
Yeah. Well, that's kind of great, but also sad.
Yeah, like, you know, it like I only look back on it with like, I think just like a trust for God, and like an appreciation that like he knows us, and he knows what each of us want to do, and the dreams in our heart, and no matter what, yeah, that you're going to be on the right path, I guess. I think was like my outtake from it. Like, even though I was pursuing soccer, I ended up doing the thing that was truest in my heart to do. So, yeah.
It's interesting how sometimes he just kind of forces you, like, kicking and screaming sometimes.
Yeah, and you don't, and like at the time you're like, what? And then you look back, and I think it just makes it easier to take those times when they come in the future, because you've already experienced it. So you're like, okay, this is happening for a reason. And you can kind of accept difficult times a little bit easier, because you're like, oh, this led to greatness in the past. So you just kind of got to trust now, which is really great. I think it really builds anyone's character, whether people believe that's God or whatever, right? Like they can really learn to just, I guess, trust life a bit more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that.
You're just awesome.
There you go. I'm like, well, we've all had those experiences, those life-changing experiences. I didn't mean to get so deep so quick.
Well, that happens on the podcast. What can we say?
It's great.
We inspire depth.
What is it that you especially like about being an actor, about playing a character?
Well, I think it just teaches me about humanity a lot more. And I was raised in a family that's, I would say their main goal in life is to love people. And I think it's learning like another level of that, even someone that you may judge that you see on the street, or wonder how, like any passerby you see on the street, or you wonder how they've gotten that situation, or their life's just so much different than yours, or they're angry for no reason or anything like that. We can have these quick snap judgments on a person, but then all of a sudden when you step into those shoes and you become that person and you figure out their backstory, you figure out how they've been raised, you understand, I think, humanity better as you get to play different characters. And even in the Hallmark world, like I've been fortunate enough to play a few of say I don't want to say broken characters, but maybe characters who come across a little shifty, or have just had circumstances in their life that they didn't get to choose that are a bit more difficult, I'd say. And yeah, I would say that for me is the greatest thing that I can get out of acting, and also give to my acting career, is just that sense of understanding humanity and people a little bit more. And so that when you see someone who's just angry at you for no reason, my reaction isn't anger, my reaction is understanding. So yeah, I constantly am swept off my feet by that. So I really love that part of acting. Like, you see this, like, even you get a breakdown for an audition, you're like, oh, like, can I play this character? Like, this is perhaps really dark, or just maybe something I don't feel really comfortable with right away. And then you spend some time on the material and you're like, you fall in love with these characters you get to play. And you find a part of yourself in all of them too, which is really nice.
Well, I really like the Roger Ebert quote where he says that movies are a machine for creating empathy.
Yes, I love that quote, 100%.
That's really true.
Yeah, I think that quote is bang on.
Yeah.
So I've noticed in a lot of your work, you do put a lot into your parts, even if they're not that big, should we say, like with Paige in The Murder She Baked.
Yeah,
you really put a lot into her. So
I loved playing Paige, and I also think that was the first time in the Hallmark world. Like, I've worked on different series where I've had a few episodes and you can build a character arc and stuff like that, but I felt like that was the first time with Hallmark that I was able to share all the background information I had done on the character. Like, when you just have a few lines, you don't really have the opportunity, but Paige had more substance, obviously, in The Murder She Baked, to even discuss with our producers on set or our director on set, like the background story. And actually, my first day on set, when I was asked about the background story of Paige, the next day when I got to set, there were rewrites, and I was like, oh, they weren't on any of my scenes, and so I didn't know them well. I just saw that there were some rewrites, but they weren't any of my scenes, so I wasn't trying to rememorize or anything. But then I was asked, like, oh, hey, did you see the rewrites? And I was like, yeah. And they're like, well, did you read them all? I was like, no. And they're like, you should read them. And I was like, okay. I read them, and they actually changed the backstory of Paige from what I had come up with. So just when the characters were trying to figure out who the killer was in that scene, and then when they're talking about Paige, they changed the story of her life, which was kind of cool.
That is really cool.
Yeah.
Look at you. Your practice should have given you co-writing credit.
I know. I kept bugging them about it. I was like, so where's my writing credit, guys? Like, that was a lot of work. I'm like, no. I could actually, I don't want to say never be a writer, because I would love to challenge myself one day, but I give so much credit and props to writers. Like, just the amount, I think, of patience that it takes to sit down and write a script is incredible. I admire them. But yeah, it was super fun to be able to bring fruit, like life, to my ideas of her. So yeah.
And that little girl you're working with,
Lena.
She is the cutest person on earth.
She is. I adore her. We've worked together. I believe we worked together before that on a short film. I can't even remember, but I also I work in casting as well sometimes, and so I see Lena all the time, and every time we see each other, we always like to let people know, like, hey, I played her mother, because we look nothing alike. I'd like to let people know, like, she was my mom once. They're like, what? Because obviously my partner in the show didn't looked more like her than me, but it was really, we always were laughing about how we didn't really look much alike. Yeah, she was my daughter. So yeah, she's a sweetie though. She's a ball of energy, and she's gonna have an amazing acting career.
Yeah, she was pretty great. I think that was my favorite Murder, She Baked, so way to go.
Nice.
And I think it's because I felt like all of the characters were so well developed. So look at you.
Yeah, well, they definitely were. Like, I love going on the Hallmark wheels, because you can tell how it's just like a well-oiled machine. These people have worked together before. They've built a sense of community, and it's such a good team mentality. So I really loved that. Yeah, that for me was like a change in, not like a change in career, but I think in a change in my mentality within my career, because it was really just like super family oriented. I think that's what I love so much about Hallmark, is I feel like it's a family, which is so nice in the film industry.
Yeah, well, obviously we're a fan of the network, so.
What? Weird. I had no idea. Crazy.
And on Murder, She Baked, you got to work with some of the, top Hall stars of Hallmark world, with Allison Sweeney and Cameron Matheson.
Yes, who were both so endearing. I love them so much. Yeah, they were lovely. Cam had us laughing all the time, and he was doing his e-talk, I believe it's called. Some of his voiceover stuff while he was there, and we're just sitting in the room while he's working away. Like, such a hard worker.
That's cool. Some inside baseball on that, huh?
Yeah, it's awesome. It was cool to see that that's how that's done on my end too. I was like, oh, you're just sitting here doing that. That's awesome. And also where I met Toby Levins, which has become a friend of mine. So
we love Toby Levins.
Of course. He's such a sweetheart. He's such a hard worker, such a sweetheart. It's so funny, because I feel like the more and more projects I do with Hallmark, the smaller the community comes. Like, you just know everyone. Lori Loughlin, I've worked with her a few times now, and it's just so lovely walking on set and being like, Lori, hi, hugging and getting into wardrobe instead of walking on and being like, I don't know anyone here. But hi, everyone. I'm new.
Is she super sweet in real life?
I can, one of the sweetest, purest humans ever, and also one of the most drop dead beautiful people, like inside and out, but just so beautiful. I really admire her, and I really love working with her, just to learn from her and watch her process. I feel like the characters she always embodies on these shows are so close to who she is. Like, they're so articulate and so empathetic, and I just feel like they're so close to actually who she is. Like, it's really lovely to watch. I've really enjoyed getting to know her more and more, and look forward to getting to know her even more.
Plus, she has such amazing hair.
It's just like
always perfect.
No, she always looks perfect. She always looks perfect. I kid you not. She walks on set before hair and makeup, and she is like stunning, beautiful. Yeah, that is the truth. It is just her essence. She is just beauty within. Yeah, in and out, gorgeous. It's awesome.
So, on When Calls the Heart, your character. You played Francine on the episodes. You were in the episodes where Elizabeth is trying to
clear her name.
And, I don't know. It was interesting. It's a pretty relevant story arc now, with sexual harassment being
oh my goodness
thing, and I don't know. So what was that?
I mean, Francine Fessler was officially the first #MeToo.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, no kidding. I should go back on that. What am I thinking? That is going to be my day today. I'm definitely going to message Aaron about that, because that's super funny.
You should.
Yeah.
#us.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. I will. Of course. And like, and now you guys get the writing credits.
Well, no. That was you. We were just hashtagging. You don't get credits for hashtags.
That's fine. But yeah, I felt very sad for Francine.
Yeah.
The audition was not, I was going to say hard, but not hard in the sense of like it was a difficult audition. It was just an emotional one because I just felt super sad for her character and what she had been through. And the audition was with Michael Landon Jr. and it was, I felt a privilege to have him in the room to really know what they were wanting for this character. And yeah, we did the scene the first time and I was definitely connected, but I wasn't like bawling my eyes out, as you don't normally do in an audition because people in real life don't usually try and cry. They try not to cry. Yeah. And I think that's a good trick in acting is when you try not to cry, it's more honest, but when you're trying to cry, it's like, ugh. Like it's not as interesting to watch in my opinion.
Yeah, no, agreed.
Because we don't walk around trying to cry, of course. So anyways, we did the scene the first time. I felt connected, and then we started to talk about the scene, and it was actually one of my longer auditions, even though the scene was quite short. And we just had a really in-depth conversation about Francine and what exactly had taken place. And then after the talk, and I think he could tell I was getting emotional by talking about it also, just because I really felt for her. And so we did it again right after we spoke and talked about it. And I was just very, it just really hit me even harder the second take. And yeah, so I felt really great about the audition no matter what. Like my goal is to always, obviously we want to book, obviously. Everyone would like a career of this, but I think my main goal is to honor the story and the character when I walk in the room. And if I can do that, whether I book or not, then I can walk out feeling proud of that and just kind of let go of it and let it be what it was. And I definitely felt that way about this audition. And then when I found out I booked it, I was so excited. And yeah, and then I also got to work with Peter DeLuise on the second episode, which is really great because Peter's wife, Anne-Marie DeLuise, was my mentor. And so I hold that family really close to my heart. So it was really nice to get to work with him. Again, we've worked with each other in the past, but it was nice to work together after we had built a personal relationship. So made it even more fun.
That's kind of awesome.
Yeah. He's done a lot of our favorites. Like
Peter, oh my goodness. Yes. He's so talented and I think obviously he's like a legend. Francine Fessler, it was I when I first booked the role, I didn't know it was reoccurring. I didn't know I was going to come back, and I felt very, very sad that all Francine was doing was saying no to Elizabeth. I was like, no, how can she? But as you know, most of our messages go in Hallmark, there's always that light at the end of the tunnel, and I should have trusted that because I was so happy to do that episode where she comes back and saves the day for Elizabeth.
Was it fun to like get in costume and stuff like that?
Yeah, I've done a period piece before. I was on Strange Empire for a few episodes. That's not Hallmark. It was a CBC, a Canadian show, and period piece also, and I really loved the outfit. I think I'm not in love with corsets and like not like tight things. Like I was like, oh, which I didn't have to wear on One Calls a Heart, thank goodness. I would have, but it's always nicer when you can eat lunch and feel comfortable.
Oh, what's it like to be on a Hallmark Christmas movie? You were in the one with Lori Loughlin.
Yeah. That was super fun. I have always wanted to be on a Christmas movie of any sorts. And so I'm a huge Christmas person, maybe a little too much. Like as soon as I can turn on the Christmas music, I'm ready to turn it on. I'm writing Christmas music. I have a Christmas tree in my apartment, and decorations around. I'm constantly doing festive things. There's a lot of things to do in Vancouver during Christmas. And so, yeah, I believe it was July. I auditioned for this Christmas movie and we filmed it in July. And so that was funny and weird and awesome, like all the fake snow and everything. I was like, I get Christmas in July. This is amazing. So that was super special, and definitely I'm hoping to do more Christmas movies this year. We'll see how that goes.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of them, so
there are, and there are a lot of them in Vancouver.
So we have to ask: is Andrew Walker as gorgeous in real life as he is?
I'll say Andrew Walker is as sweet as he is in those movies.
That means he's as gorgeous.
He's very handsome. He is a handsome young man. He's very sweet.
He's one of our faves.
Yeah, you know what? I didn't really know him prior to working on that movie, and that was very last minute. It was offered to me really quickly. They needed someone for it, and so I stepped in to do it and quickly read the script the day before. Like, it was a bit of a rushed situation, and we kept laughing to not make those. Like, I just was saying like a few lines to him really quickly, and we were laughing to not make them flirtatious, like, but to make them like actually a fan and not like just super flirtatious, like, oh my goodness, Andrew Walker. But what a lovely person he was. Yeah, he's such a sweetie. Like, I really hope him the best. He was just like, the best way to describe him is just super lovely. Like, I feel like he's just one of those people I think could be friends with anyone. He's just super sweet.
Which would make him more gorgeous, I would think.
Yeah. Just one of those spirals.
You girls. You're too funny.
And then Lisa Durept was also on that, and she's on The Murder, She Baked. So that must have been like a fun little reunion.
Yeah, and I see her around all the time. We actually work together sometimes in casting. So yeah, she is a sweetie. I adore her. Like, she has so much positive energy. I think she's just one of those people that are so great to have around all of the time. Like, you cannot get enough of Lisa because she's just so sweet and full of life and energy. She's a sweetheart.
Big fan.
Yeah, same here. I'm a big fan too. I get to hang out with her and I'm like, I'm a big fan of you. You're great.
So you have just finished filming 2 different Hallmark projects. You want to tell us what you can about either of those?
Yeah, well, this is the part we can edit. Just kidding. So I just finished doing a Haley Dean Mysteries.
Oh, yes. Excellent.
And then a garage sale mystery. So I'm loving the Hallmark Mystery channel, obviously. So the Haley Dean was super quick. I don't think I can give too much info about that without giving all away.
Okay, we won't press. We want to solve the mystery ourselves.
Exactly. You'll see it soon. And then garage sale for me to the state was the biggest role I've done so far. So it was my first lead role on the series. So that was super fun, just to have a bunch of scenes again with Lori and to act with her. She's just such a great scene partner to act with, like I said earlier. And I literally just got off that, like 2 weeks of filming. Super, super fun. The whole entire crew, like, I can't even tell you, this crew was amazing. I think also because they've just worked together for so long, they're just like the best oiled machine you could possibly work with. Everyone's friends, everyone's family, like hugs every day when you get to set. Super professional. Things are done, in like 1 or 2 takes, like just so quick and efficient. And I just, I wish, I wish I could be on all the garage sales because I definitely loved it, and I cannot wait for people to see it. I felt well, hopefully. I'm a little nervous, of course, when you have more on the line. You're like, do people get to see this before me, or do I get to see it first? Because sometimes it's hard watching things with people and you haven't seen it already, and you're just like, oh goodness, what am I gonna do? Because you can work really hard, but sometimes you can watch something and be like, oh, I wasn't trying to do that. Like, what was that?
Yeah.
Or like, hey, why did you pick that take?
Yeah. Oh yeah, that happens for sure. You're like, oh, I didn't know we were rolling. But yeah, that for me, it's been the best experience I've ever had. Like these last 2 weeks have been almost like the best 2 weeks of my life. Like I really loved the team, and it just made me excited for my future with the Hallmark channel and the Hallmark world. I just want to continue moving forward. Yeah, I look up to people like Cindy Busby, adore her. She's the sweetest. And and I just want to like continue moving forward and becoming more familiar with the fans and getting to know everyone. But yeah, I'm so excited for you guys to see it. It's intense.
And so, I mean, and you were in another garage sale mystery. So, are you just like random look like the Elizabeth character you were in the other one, or is maybe Elizabeth getting a bigger spotlight?
Oh, well, no, not at all.
Okay.
So, because it was so many years ago.
Yeah.
And it was literally the opening scene. It was one of the first things I've ever done. And I died.
Oh, you died?
In that garage sale.
Died.
Yeah, I died in like the opening scene. So it was like, and I didn't look like me at all. My hair is different color. Yeah. So if you see it, you'll be like, oh, it's not. Like if you, I dare you to take a Snapchat, like a snap photo of that GSM and of the new one, and you'll be like, yeah, those aren't the same person. like this character was a dream to play, and I'll tweet about it lots. Like there's a couple things I'm very excited about her character that I've even wanted to do in real life and haven't been able to. Just yeah, so I'm excited. Say anything else?
Yeah, no, don't do it.
I'm like, so much to share.
But we don't want it to get spoiled either. So
no, and I would never do that to you guys or any fans, right? Like you don't want to know that. I don't even like watching. It's funny, my boyfriend and I, whenever we go to the movie, he'll like to watch the trailer beforehand. And I'm like, no, I can't see it. Because I'm like, otherwise I don't even want to see the movie, because I feel like they always show the funny best parts.
Yeah.
And then you're building up to the movie and you're like,
or they just like have a scene in it that looks awesome that it's not even in the movie.
Yeah.
Right? Like it's so, I don't know, it's either misleading or just like robs you of the whole essence of the film. I do not like to
I
know
feel
beforehand.
like 90% of trailers are meant to like lower your expectations to the point where you like
don't want to go see it.
No, you like every movie. Like you go in thinking, oh, this is not going to be very good. It had a horrible trailer. And then you watch the movie and you're like, oh, that was better than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah.
It's like the reverse of hype, you know?
Yeah,
like,
totally.
But every once in a while, there'll be like a really good trailer, but most of them, I feel like, actively make their movies look bad.
We look worse.
Yeah, that's just my opinion.
Yeah, we're so behind on movies right now. And like, we were just discussing that might be our weekend. We're like, we should just go see all of the possible Oscar-nominated films that are still in theaters this weekend.
Yeah.
We are behind.
It wasn't my favorite year for Oscar-nominated films. I don't know. There's just like there weren't that many that I loved.
Yeah,
but still, certainly a lot that were worth seeing. So that would be
okay, good. Yeah, I've heard a few, and I've heard pros and cons, I think, on most.
Yeah.
But I think it's always nice to see them yourself, because you never know, depending on who you are in your life experiences, you might be like, yes, I relate to this so much.
Yeah. Plus, it'll give you an insight where the industry's trending.
Yes, which we all know where. It's very heavy female right now, and I think it is.
Yeah.
It just makes me so proud, because I know, a decent amount about women's history, and I feel so like we are so lucky. And then when things like this are happening, and things are being like, people are standing up to things that have never happened to in the past, we've always just accepted these things. Like the Me Too movement isn't new. These are stories of people's histories that are happening. And thank goodness now it's constantly happening. Sorry, not constantly, but it's now presently also being stood up for. But there's stories of the past where people are coming out, but they're things that people have just been accepting in this industry and knowingly accepting and dealing with, and maybe hush-hushing it or whatever. But yeah, it's I think a great time to be a woman, and it makes me excited to raise. I have no kids right now, but it makes me excited to raise my children in a world where slowly we're becoming more and more equal, and hopefully getting rid of these painful things that shouldn't be a part of our world.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
Francine Fressler started it all.
I know, Francine.
I just want to talk about the short that you were in, Crossroads.
Oh yeah.
So that's
with Carlo.
Yes, with Carlo Mark. So that's actually where I found that before, because I was like, I love him. I need to find everything that he's done that's available. So
have you watched the short film?
I did.
Oh my goodness, that's awesome.
It took a little bit of finding. I'm like, where did you find that?
I
can't even remember. It took me an hour of just randomly clicking to things.
Yeah, I'm super impressed. And hope you didn't get any viruses on your computer.
I probably did. But it was very I don't know. It wasn't necessarily sweet, but it was so great. So I just wanted to say I really loved it. Great job.
Thank you. Yeah, I really love him. It was we became really good friends on that. It was my first time ever in my life initiating a kiss, not even just in film, but in life. And so I was so nervous. I was telling him before that kiss scene, I was like, okay, I just want you to know, I've never initiated a kiss. I don't know what to do. I don't know how to lean over. I don't know. I was so awkward and so nervous. And it turned out awesome. In the footage, I don't know if they had to cut through a bunch of stuff. Oh boy, this girl doesn't know what she's doing. But yeah, that was a really funny story from that experience, because I was so I don't even know him. It's my first day meeting him, and I'm telling him how I have no experience kissing people and I don't know how to lean in to kiss him. I was okay, can you sit a bit closer? It's so I was just such a nerd, and he was just so nice about it. Super funny. But yeah, for me, that is I love that short film. I still have footage of that in my demo reel. It was just so, I felt it was so, the cinematography in it was beautiful.
Yeah.
Where we shot all of our locations.
Yeah, where was that filmed?
It was in Vancouver.
Oh. See, I'm just used to seeing Vancouver as I don't know. The city or
the ranch.
The North Pole or something.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that's Vancouver. We barely get snow here. But yeah, so no, it was on this beautiful little lake. I think maybe Deerfoot Lake or something. That might not even exist in Vancouver. I'm I may be coming up with this.
You're we were actually in Vermont, but
yeah, oh my goodness.
So we like to end our interviews with just a fun group of questions.
Okay.
So
yes, we like to call them our Teen Beat questions. I don't know if you remember Teen Beat, but
no.
We had to adapt them because I can't say what song's in your CD player right now because
has
a CD player.
Oh goodness. Okay, here we go.
Okay, so you ready?
Yeah.
Okay. Best ice cream flavor.
Ben & Jerry's, a million flavors. It has Reese's peanut butter cups and caramel and white chocolate. It has everything in it, and it's the best. And I can eat a container in a sitting.
What? So I have never heard of that, and it sounds amazing.
Yes, it is unreal.
I hope it's not something that's only in Canada.
I didn't know do you guys not get Ben & Jerry's at all?
No, we do get Ben & Jerry's, but
okay, yeah.
What if they only have
1 million flavors
in Canada?
I will send you some melted Ben & Jerry's, and
you guys can get poutine at McDonald's, and you can't.
Yeah, actually, we were just discussing we might make that for dinner. Super healthy over here.
But it's a Saturday, right?
Yeah.
All right, and then the next one, favorite color.
Favorite color is light pink.
Ooh, that is the correct answer. No one yet has gotten that, so way to go.
Yes.
And then what music are you listening to right now on like your iPod or whatever?
Oh,
what are you into?
I'm so excited to share this. I just got Apple Music and I am obsessed with this guy. What's his name? His name is Dermot Kennedy.
Okay.
I've never heard the name Dermot, but it's a song called Young and Free, and he just has the most raw voice. I love it so much.
What genre is it?
I almost want to play it for you, but it's too long. It's like easy listening, I guess, kind of poppy, but like easy listening, folky pop. And then I always have like a Christian playlist going or a pop playlist going. Very different worlds.
Unless you find one of those really good Christian pop people.
And there's like a lot of them right now.
Yeah.
Like it's awesome. So yeah, that's my music playlist.
You're just making really good choices. Proud of you. Okay, and then the next one is, what is your go-to date night food?
Oh, we like to go to the Keg. Is the Keg a Canadian thing or is that an American thing too?
I think that's a Canadian thing.
I got no idea.
Okay, it's a steakhouse, but my boyfriend, my partner, and I, we get the same thing every time we go, and we just like don't even talk to each other because we're so happy with our food that we're just like having a date with our food. Like it is the best.
So what do you get?
I get a pistachio crusted salmon with like maple butter, mashed potatoes, and Brussels sprouts and bacon on it. Like, is so good.
The most amazing thing I've ever heard.
It is so good.
Delicious.
I can't even like, yeah. Sometimes I feel like it's like a $40 meal, and I'm like, you could buy so many groceries with $40. But it's also good to, you know,
treat yourself.
Treat yourself. Yeah,
that's correct.
Important.
Yeah. Like,
Rachel, we're moving to Canada.
Ben and Jerry's, pistachio crusted salmon.
Yeah, that sounds delicious.
It is, and it's a bit embarrassing though because they never give enough maple butter. So like, I'm always asking for more maple butter. I'm like, can I get more maple butter? They bring me some. I try and ask like a different server who I didn't ask the first time. I'm like, hey, can I get?
But it's always the butter guy who brings it back to you.
Yeah, and I'm like, there's just 4 things of maple butter on my table. Thanks. But I don't care. I'm shameless. Whatever.
But I'm like you. I get the same. I find what I like in restaurants, and I just get it every time. And people are always like, you're so boring, and I'm like, okay, fine. Then I try something else and I'm like,
yeah, then you feel like you wasted your money.
I always wish I'd ordered what I like.
Yes, I'm the same way. I'm like, when you find it, you got to stick to it because otherwise you're like, I don't know, you're just like, oh, that's not what I wanted, and you kind of just feel like you're wasting money. That's how I feel. I'm like, I might as well spend money on what I want.
Right. You're like looking over at somebody who ordered what you want, and you're like, oh,
like,
they were smart.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
All right. And then the next question is, what is your go-to date night activity?
Okay. Well, we met playing soccer, just like recreational soccer. So, we're like 9-year-old kids. So when we play together, it's super funny. Like we live in front of a park. So there's a park behind us, and we just go in the back with the soccer ball. Also, it's nice to get outside. Like my partner works in an office all day, and it's nice to be active together, and we just play soccer. But it's actually like 10-year-old kids who have a crush on each other because all we do is laugh. Like it's more of an ab workout than anything, and we're like exhausted by like 3 minutes of like playing one-on-one soccer. It is we'll just be like so casual walking there. Like we've been together for 2.5 years. And then as soon as we start playing soccer together, we're like laughing while trying to play one-on-one. Like it's really funny, but it's something I really love doing together.
Excellent. So since you love soccer, do you love the movie She's the Man?
Yeah, obviously.
That's a litmus test to see how, much we get along, because that's the correct answer. If you were like,
Yes.
no, I don't even know what would happen.
Be like, what movie is that? No, of course I love it. And Amanda Bynes' twin brother has played my fiance.
Yes, Supernatural. I wanted to bring it up, but I couldn't think of an organic way. So
there you go.
Sebastian!
You set it up. Yeah, I love him. He's the best.
These are a couple either or questions. So, dogs or cats?
Dogs.
Excellent. Beaches or mountains?
Beaches.
Great. Fancy dresses or sweatpants?
Oh, I'm a 50-50 person. I'm like one or the other all the time. I'm either super dressed up or like obnoxiously casual. Like, we'll go to the grocery store. I actually just had a post on my Instagram the other day of me walking to my grocery store in big fluffy polka dot pajamas. Like, do not care what people think of me. Or I'm like dressed to the nines, even if my boyfriend is like in sweatpants and we go out for dinner. I just love dressing up, but I also love being cash. So I'm in the middle.
All right. I mean, that you didn't really take a stand on it. But...
I'm so sorry. So sorry. I can't choose.
All right. And then favorite holiday?
Christmas.
Perfect. Okay. And then this one's really tough. So don't feel super stressed about it, because everyone struggles.
Okay.
Because you're from Canada. Favorite Hallmark movie?
Okay. So before I was on the show, I didn't watch it or anything, but it's not a movie, but I love When Calls the Heart.
Yes.
It is.
I mean, they have some movies, so it counts.
Yeah, true. You know what? You're right. But I just love the show, and I think Erin is such a good actor, and I love the community of her and Lori and the girls. And then, yeah, I really, and I'm like a romantic, so I'm definitely a When Calls the Heart fan.
You're a Hardy.
I sure am.
Well, that's a good answer.
I don't even own a TV, so like I'll watch things when I can.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, definitely One Calls the Heart.
You really?
Yeah, and Super Channel now they're just airing at the same time now. It's not even delayed for Canada, so
that's amazing.
That progress.
I didn't even know that.
So do you just watch like movies and stuff on your computer, or?
Yeah, so my boyfriend has a TV, but I'm just like, I'm busy. I don't usually, and like if I watch something, I'll just like watch something from Netflix before bed, or I'll buy something on iTunes. But my life isn't, I don't have a huge TV life other than trying to be on TV.
Right? That's you're like, I don't need to watch it.
No, definitely not the case. Like, I love sitting down and watching TV, like eat or whatever, but it's just the time, I guess.
Yeah.
Having the time to do it.
Yeah.
I don't watch episodes. I watch dailies.
Yes. That is my life. Good job knowing that word.
Thank you.
We gotten to know the lingo over the
pros. It's awesome.
So thank you so much for joining us on the podcast. We really appreciate it. It was so fun to get to know you. And
yeah, thanks so much. I saw like a few of my friends on it and I was like, oh, this is awesome. And I listened to a few and I was like, this is great.
Oh,
well, thank
good.
you.
Yeah. Hopefully we'll have you on again. And Miss, this week we have on the podcast a very special podcast with our friend Mike Bloom, who is a podcaster extraordinaire. We are going to be talking about Once Upon a Time, and that's going to be really fun. Hopefully we'll bring up some of my Disney knowledge, and we'll just enjoy that. And then we also will have our recap of When Calls the Heart on Thursday with Ruth Hill, so check that out. And this weekend on Hallmark Channel, we have a new movie called Home by Spring, and it has Poppy Drayton and Stephen R. McQueen, grandson.
Who is the most handsome person in the entire universe.
He's the grandson, I think, of Steve McQueen. Yeah, so that's pretty cool. And it has country music superstar Kix Brooks in it. And I don't know, what do you think about this one, Amber? Do you think it looks fun?
I could just watch Stephen R. McQueen on screen for 2 hours and be happy. So I'm pretty sure I'm going to really enjoy this one.
Yeah, I think it will be fun too. And then, of course, there's on Sunday, we have a new episode of When Calls the Heart and our new episode of Meet the Pete's. So a lot of fun stuff going on with Hallmark this weekend. And make sure you check out the podcast coming up this week. And thanks again so much for joining us, Hannah. We really appreciate it. And where can people find you as far as social media and things like that?
Well, they can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Hannah and then A. My middle name's Alan. So Hannah A. Peterson. And yeah, you guys can come check out my pages and follow along. Definitely posting, and we'll post later about some behind the scenes of the up and coming movies I've done.
Great. We'll have all the links for that in the description section, so check that out. And Amber, where can people find you?
As always, I'm at Amber Brainwaves on Twitter, and that's it.
Awesome. And you can find me at Rachel's Reviews on iTunes and YouTube, so make sure to check that out. And I just posted my review of Sherlock Gnomes, the great film there. Just kidding. And so check that out. And then make sure you're following the podcast on social media. We at Hallmarkies Pod on Instagram and Twitter and Facebook. We post daily. And so we have a lot of fun doing that. So make sure you are keyed in to the podcast. And thanks again. And we will talk to you all later.
All right. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.